everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Hannah Hall and I'm a makeup artist for the everyday woman. So today we've been joined by the lovely Glenys. Now Glenys has worn makeup since she was 15 and has always loved makeup, but finds that now in her 70s she's finding that the makeup's just not sitting right. She's not sure where to put it. She's got some gorgeous products. So I thought we'd take a little look, see what she's got and get them working for her. So let's get started. So welcome, Glen. Thank you for joining me.
It's fine. Looking forward to it.
You enjoy your makeup?
I do, yes.
And if you just explain sort of how you would normally wear your makeup.
Well, very basic, but I try different things in that, but I never seem to get it just right. It's either not quite in the right place or it's too heavy.
You've got beautiful skin,
absolutely
gorgeous skin, and you know, sort of it is just getting the products to work for us.
That's right, yeah.
So you've already got the tattoo across the top of the lid. A lot of my viewers will be quite keen at looking at that actually.
Yeah, it's so lovely to wake up in the morning and have eyes.
Yeah. Once you've got that line, you can work around that to enhance it.
Yeah.
So and also with your brows as well, you have those tinted, don't you?
I have them tinted, yes.
So first of all, we're going to hydrate the skin. We're just going to always give a little bit of moisture. Now this one I'm using today is a Bobbi Brown moisturiser, and it's just sort of preps and primes the skin, but it really feels, and it smells lovely, doesn't it? But it just gives the most perfect base for then any makeup to be applied on top. And I think the most important thing is hydration is really key, but the main thing is don't put too many sort of serums and things on, because your makeup will slide off. Prep and prime the skin with a nice moisturiser or a nice primer, and this one from Bobbi Brown is gorgeous.
Feels nice.
So a little bit of balm on the lips. Now this one is by Bobbi Brown and this is called Bare Bloom, and it's just lovely because it actually takes on, isn't it lovely worn on its own, but it takes on your natural pH. So it not only moisturises the lips and gives them that little bit plumpness, it also gives that little bit of colour.
I do have dry lips.
If your lips are dry, if you can kind of keep them hydrated, and actually if you exfoliate the lips as well, it really does sort of get rid of the dead skin cells and then hydrate with a nice balm.
You tend to avoid doing round your lips.
Yes, you must, because it gets rid of all those dead skin cells, especially at the side of the lips as well. Just plump them up and get the blood flowing to the area. So we're going to use the lovely Eldridge foundation. Now you've only just recently... Oh, actually, should we show your makeup bag?
Yes. My treat.
So Glenys has always had...
Very professional.
Yeah, well, you've always had makeup in a drawer, everything everywhere, and can't find anything half the time.
That's it, and all bits that I don't need, don't want.
Exactly. So then we bought this. Lovely. And it's just brilliant because it opens up and you've got your brushes there as well. It's got everything. It's so easy to access.
Brilliant.
And you just can pop that either under the bed or in the wardrobe, can't you, out the way? But then you've got it all.
Pull it out, and I'm using more because I can see what's in there.
Yeah, and I actually use the slightly beefed up version for my professional kits, and they're brilliant because everything stays in place. Yeah. So I will link that below as well for everybody. So starting off with the lovely Eldridge foundation. Now this is just gorgeous, really, really lovely. You can see that it's quite a runny product, so it's nice and light on the skin. So we're actually going to use a sponge today. Now we've been talking about these sponges, haven't we? Now you didn't realise that we had to fill it with water.
No, I didn't. I was just dabbing it on as it was.
Yeah. And actually, normally you've been using a brush.
The brush, it was like streaky. You could see parts where it was thicker and non-thick. So I used to dab it with the sponge to set it in so you didn't see any of the streaks.
So you're almost giving yourself more work.
Well, yes, quite. I was, yes.
So almost you could eliminate this and go straight with the sponge, but I fill it with water. It then won't absorb your product, but it also give you a lighter finish as well, a lighter touch, and you won't get those streak marks, which would be great. Pop it onto your hand, use your hand like a palette, and then pat in, and then all we're going to do is we're going to pat over the face. We're not going to use a swiping motion, we're just dappling. It's just patting onto the skin. So go over the lid as well. And it actually feels quite cooling, doesn't it, with the sponge?
With the sponge, a lot better.
Remember to go down to the neck as well, just to sort of bring it all together. You can see that gives such a lovely coverage. Such a difference. Gorgeous.
Completely, yeah. And I don't feel as if it's on.
Nice and light.
So light.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm actually not going too high up under the eye at the moment, and even around the side of the nose. We're going to come back and sort of almost spot conceal afterwards on those areas. So next we're going to use the concealer. This is the Dior concealer, and I really love this concealer because you don't need a lot, and you, as you say, you've got amazing skin. All I'm going to do is pop a few little dots where we feel we might need that little bit of extra coverage. And do you find that here you want to sort of bring, it's almost like painting a picture, and you want to, the things you want to bring forward you do lighter, and the things you want to push back you do darker. So that's why you've got sort of the little bit of bronzers to push back, and then the highlighters and the concealers to bring forward. So a little bit in the dip of the chin, top of the lip. What I'm now using is a little fluffy brush, very, very light, and I'm just almost tickling the face. Don't giggle at me. But it just is really light touch. Can you see? I'm almost just actually
like
dusting,
feather.
Feather-like motion across the top. Felt you needed just that little bit more coverage on certain areas, and that's what you can do with this sort of product. Is just go in. You don't need a heavy foundation all over. It's just having something really light to let the skin still be skin. And people think, oh, she just looks lovely and fresh, and then just conceal just in those areas you feel might need a little bit more attention. Then you end up with almost too much everywhere, don't you? Yeah. And you feel too made up. Because it's bound to sit in the lines and the creases, because it's skin, you know, it's not like you see on the television with everything being flawless. That's with all the lights, and you want to look good out in the natural daylight, and people think, wow, she's got gorgeous skin, which you have, but it's just nice to highlight and enhance everything, isn't it? Yeah. It gives you a bit more confidence, I think.
Oh, it does, it does.
Quite powerful makeup, isn't it? Well, I think a lot of people do enjoy makeup, and then they find that time goes on, and then they lose their way, and then they stop wearing it altogether, which is such a shame, you know, when you get so much joy from it.
And your skin changes as you get older, so you need to change your products.
Yeah, and just adapting
stick to what you used when you were in your 30s.
Yeah. Fortunately, everything changes, but actually, that, you know, with that comes its advantages as well. And then once you've done that, go back in with your sponge and just pat it all on, and that will just bring it all together. So because we haven't used an eye primer, what we've done is gone with a little bit of the foundation. We're going to just set that with a little bit of powder. So then we're using the By Terry powder, because this one is so super fine, isn't it? It's just gorgeous. I recommend it to a lot of clients because I just think it just gives that lovely lightness, but it sets everything. If you close for me, Glenn. I'm just going over the lid, just so that then, you know how sometimes when you put any eyeshadow on, it can end up sitting, because actually our lids are the oiliest part of our face, believe it or not, and that's why it ends up sitting up in that high crease. But if you set it with a bit of powder, that just sort of keeps it nice and fresh. I'm just going to brush through your brows. I know you've already got them tinted, but actually, if you just look at me slightly, okay, look at the camera. Can you see just there? I just want to elongate that side. So all you would do is just sort of take it out to the side. Now we don't want to drag the eye down, so we're almost just taking it and elongating it out to the side. You just want to sort of take it from the nose out. Can you see where you'd end? So that's where we're aiming for. And then this way. That's lovely. You can see the difference between the two already.
You can, yes.
It almost gives you an eye lift, doesn't it? And just turn to the mirror. That looks lovely.
It does.
We're starting to sort of give a lovely warmth to the skin, but I just want to add a little bit more warmth with some bronzer. So would you tend to use a bronzer normally, Glenn?
I do try, but
knowing what to do.
It's knowing where to actually put it.
It's almost foolproof, so you just would put it on where, so almost where the sun would catch you, high up here, not too much, not too low, because if you suck your cheeks in a little bit for me, Glenn, see how you do it at the, if you did it too low, it's sort of underneath, that creates a shadow, that's more of a contour. This is a bronzer, so it's going to lift, so that's where we're placing it. So all I'm going to use is a sponge just to dapple it out, but I'm not doing it here because that would sort of almost draw the face in again. So we want the face to look all lovely and sort of plump and youthful. But this is perfect colour on you actually, Glenys.
It looks as if it's easy to use as
Very
well.
easy, very easy.
And you get it, put it on where you want it.
Exactly. Now you also can do your jawline. So if you turn this way for me, and you can go and you can create almost your jaw, put it onto that bit there, but underneath here. So once that's on, you just pat away again, and then it just defines your jaw. But because you're patting, and you've also got a little bit of foundation still on there, it sort of marries it all together. So therefore you don't see where things start and where they end.
That's, I think, one of my problems.
I think it's a lot of people's problems. It's very, very difficult. And then when you're doing it on yourself as well. So once you get the techniques, then it really does sort of make it a lot easier. So then what you can do is take a little bit onto your brush. If you just completely relax down, that's it. And then it goes into this area here, a lot higher than you would naturally think. But it just gives that definition to the eye. It's quite nice having the cream product because then it can just sort of glide over. It's not powdery, it's not dropping out. The cream products work really well.
It feels a lot better, the cream, than the powder.
They feel lighter, don't they?
It does.
And actually it's quite nice to have one product that you can kind of go right there, and then a little bit on the eyes and you're done.
That's it, yeah.
It's nice,
quick and easy.
The great thing about this one is you turn it over and you've actually got a highlighter the other side.
Oh, right.
So this is really beautiful. It just gives a nice rosy glow.
Quick, easy.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing too obvious, you know. And again, just placing it on where you want it. Get your sponge and just pat it out again. So next we're going to use a nice blusher. So this one is by Rare Beauty. This one's called Hope. They do some nice colours actually. They've got another one called Happy, which I really like. But I think this one's really soft and gorgeous. It's really nice and creamy as well. If you normally do your blusher, we would normally put it on our apples. So give us a big old smile. We'd normally pop it onto the apples of our cheeks. But what you would find is when you stop smiling, it would end up sort of down here, a lot lower than we want. So what you need to do is think just that little bit higher than you would normally naturally think. So I'm going up here, and then again getting your sponge and just patting it out. Now again, you've got the foundation within there, and it just marries it all together. So you've got no harsh lines. Then just high up, a lot higher. And then pat it out. That looks lovely, Glenn.
It does. It feels nice.
And actually, you can just pop a little bit onto the lips if you wanted to. You know, if you think, oh, I've got a little bit left over, I'll pop a bit on my lips. Nice, doesn't it? It just brings it all together when you've got the same on your lip as you have your cheeks.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, well, that's quick and easy. I've got a bit of colour on my lips, and it goes with my cheeks anyway.
That's right, yeah.
Let's take a little look at your eyes. Now, obviously we've got the sort of line already there, which is amazing. And then, but to soften that is quite a nice thing to do. This one's lovely. This is called Ruby Shimmer. So it's got a little bit of sort of iridescent into it, but it just gives a nice... and
rather than powder as well.
Exactly. Well, it's nice and easy for you to use.
Yeah.
So if you close for me, Glenys. So, and now just lift up and just pop a little bit along. So really all you're doing is tracing exactly where you put your eyeliner.
Oh, right. So
just go across your eyeliner, and you don't have to be precious about it. You just get it on. Yeah, so I'll just do the one eye and then we can see the difference. And then literally just use your finger to gently pat that out. And just open for me. That looks lovely. And look up for me, Glenys. Just a little bit underneath, just to give a definition. This makes such a difference, doesn't it?
It has.
Lovely.
It's opened the eye up completely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing, isn't it?
Love
Such
it.
a difference. You've been talking to me about your mascara, haven't you?
Yes. Nightmare for
It's
me.
like finding the Holy Grail.
I know,
isn't it?
yes.
What do you find that happens when you wear your mascara?
It doesn't seem to separate. I've got very tiny eyelashes and they're very, very pale.
Mm-hmm.
And I seem to have to put too much on and then it looks thick and cloggy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's getting it right into the base part, you know, which is difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's all little bits and that. I've found recently that the smaller the brush, the better,
Yeah.
rather than the big, thick brush.
Exactly, because you just
Yeah.
can't get the big brush in, can
No.
you? Well, I'm going to introduce you to the MAC tubing mascara today because I love this mascara. The reason I love it is because it's great for watery eyes, because once it sets, it's waterproof. So the brush is really, really small. You see,
I
so if you
suffer
look down,
from watery eyes.
oh, don't!
badly.
It's terrible, isn't it? And first thing in the morning, especially, I find that my eyes are just watering. And if I've got a mascara and I'm testing out, and it's all of a sudden down my, I'm like, right, that one's off the list. I'm not going to be recommending that one. So look down for me, Glenn, and then we're just going to wiggle at the edge, at the base, and then just lift up. And this one is great because how they call it a tubing mascara is because it comes off in what they call little tubes from around your lashes with warm water. Run the warm water tap and then just massage my lashes and then it just comes away. So it doesn't clump, easy to use, it's foolproof. I'm always testing, just look down again for me, Glenn. I'm always testing out new mascaras and I keep coming back to this one. Just open.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Makes such a difference, doesn't it? That
It does,
really does
yeah.
open up your eyes. Now, do you use eyelash curlers? No. So this is a heated eyelash curler. When you use eyelash curlers, they're almost like it's this torture contraption, aren't they? I'm going to catch my skin in that. So I've been using the heated eyelash curlers because they just warm up just a little bit. Once you've applied your mascara, it actually works better. So if you just look down for me again, Glenn, all you do, you could do it yourself probably better. Hold it on. It just feels a little bit warm, doesn't it?
It's fine.
And that opens up your eyes
Oh,
no end.
good heavens. It's
Isn't
like
that
two different
amazing?
eyes.
That's amazing.
It is, yeah.
So
I've
good.
never had eyelashes that went up like that. Never.
They look great. Let's do the other eye. As I say, it works better with, and that looks amazing.
Oh, yes.
Isn't it? It looks
Can I see the eyelashes
fantastic.
above?
Oh, fantastic, Glenn. Look up for me, Glenn. Just give them a little coat. I do think it does frame the eye if you do the bottom lashes as well. So it brings the bottom lashes together. A lot of people say to me they haven't got any bottom lashes, but actually they have. It's just getting the right mascara and getting in there. And
just defines the eye.
Exactly. It's looking so gorgeous.
It is.
Everything just looks so natural.
Natural,
That's the key.
and it just feels so nice, not heavy at all.
Do you wear a lip liner at all, Glenn?
No.
So you've prepped them with the moisture, which is great.
Yes.
Now we're going to use a lip liner just to give that little bit more definition to your lips.
I'd love to see this.
So what you do is you sort of line from the base up. From the base. Because a lot of the time we lose our pigment in our lip. So it's sort of let's make the most of the lips and address all the, sort of bits there. You have got a lip, but you just haven't got as much pigment maybe, so it's just sort of giving us that little bit more back really. And then just filling in the lip just so that it's no harsh lines. If you close and just look, you see the difference between the two.
Yeah. Look. plumper, bigger.
Yeah. Giving you plump lips
I
in
know,
seconds. It does make a
without the
difference.
Botox, yes.
Yeah. And close again, that's it. Lovely shaped lips anyway. It just defines it, just that little bit. Gorgeous. And then I'm going to go on with a lovely gloss, because I know you like a gloss on your lip. And actually it's more youthful to have a bit more of a sheen to the lip rather than a matte.
Matte, yes.
Because it can then end up sitting in the lines, whereas if it's glossy, it's sort of and creamy, it sort of lifts the lip and it makes them look a little bit more fuller and plumper. So I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury. Now this is Pillow Talk Fair. Now a lot of the Pillow Talks are a little bit too brown. This one is perfect because it's got a nice pinky undertone to it. So it gives a nice lift to the lip and like a natural lip really.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks gorgeous colour on you, Glen. That's lovely. Isn't that gorgeous? It's beautiful.
The lips look twice as high.
They do, don't they? Look amazing.
Yeah, lovely, especially when you smile and it goes round instead of just the clumping on. Yeah,
absolutely. Gorgeous. So from there, we're just going to finish off with a little bit of ambient powder. This one's by Hourglass, and it's got the ambient powder, which would go all over the face, then the highlighter, and then a little bit of bronzer. So, you know, but you can actually swirl through them all and just, you know, sort of, it's just lovely, really, really nice. But you can just sort of sweep it over the face and it would just sort of help to set everything in place, but also give that nice sort of sheen to the skin without anything too glittery. Absolutely gorgeous. And then a little bit of highlighter up on the high points. Nice and soft. And these are great because they just sort of add a nice warmth to the skin, easy peasy, and just finishes
in the
it
one
all.
compact.
Exactly, but nothing heavy.
No,
nothing heavy
at all. This feels so, I don't feel as if I've got makeup on.
Oh, perfect. That's good.
Look like a new woman.
You look gorgeous. Just maybe to set under the eyes in place, you could go with your By Terry and just tap it off the excess, and then just set, you know, like you did on the lids before. You can just go over. It's so super fine, and it will just set everything beautifully. But it doesn't look heavy. It doesn't sit in the lines and the creases. It's so easy on the skin and kind to the skin, I think. Now, you are done, but what I would say is, you know, sort of throughout the day, especially when it gets hot in the summer, this is a setting spray, and it's from Charlotte Tilbury. There's so many different ones, but I like this one because it's nice and light, but you can just spray the face, and actually, you know, when you get a bit hot in the day, it can pep up your makeup and just make everything feel fresher as well.
And use it during the day or any time.
Absolutely. And it would just pep everything up and just refresh your makeup. So if you've gone from day to evening, you don't want to apply more makeup, just use the setting spray and just pat it over and you're done. You can actually go back to your sponge and just pat it on and you're all sorted. But that's great. And especially, you know, in the summer months when we get quite hot.
Definitely.
I've been feeling it with my menopausal, getting hotter and hotter. And actually this is great because it, one, cools you down, but also peps your makeup up. So
brilliant.
It's a nice little one to have in your handbag.
Little tip to have that one, definitely.
So let's get your hair done and then we'll show everybody the finished article.
This is fantastic.
You look amazing,
Glenys.
But you look so good, Glenys. I mean, you've got amazing skin anyway, but honestly, it just looks like you, but just that little bit fresher. Yeah. And I think that's what we all want, don't we? We just want to look nice.
Normally, instead of just like red bits here and a brown bit there and streaks, and it's just all blend. I think the word blend's the best thing to learn. You've got to blend things in, not pop it on and think that's it.
Yeah, blend and blend again, exactly. On your skin.
It's just so natural, just highlighted everything that I didn't know I had.
You look absolutely gorgeous. And so do you mind saying your age? Because you do look amazing.
I'll be 77 in June.
Wow.
I have to think that.
Can I please look like you when I'm 77? Oh my goodness, Glenys, you look fabulous.
77 in June, yeah.
Oh, you look great.
It's
Thank you.
retirement as well.
Yeah, that's it. No, but you're living a good life. That's amazing.
Enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you. I just feel fantastic.
Can we have you back anytime, please? Because I've loved doing your makeup.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Oh, thank you so much. You do look amazing. So thank you.
Thank you.
And
lovely.
yeah,
Thanks.
we'll see you all
Smashing.
soon. Thank you.